Today we're going to tell you the basics of Pokemon Unite, so when it releases on Switch or mobile, however you want to play, you'll be ready and know exactly what to do to serve your team and win the game. If you're new to the channel and you're looking for Pokemon Unite content to watch and follow, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. We're going to be coming at you with both Pokemon Go and Pokemon Unite content, so make sure you don't miss a video. Now let's dive in. Before you jump into a match, there are three main components you'll have to account for: your 3 held items, your 1 consumable item, and the Pokemon you choose. Number 1, your held items. Your 3 held items can assist you in a variety of ways by increasing the stats of your choice. They are passive items, meaning when in combat, you do not need to worry about activating them. For example, the beta provided us with an item called Leftovers, which serves to slowly increase your HP over time. Or perhaps you'll like to hold the Float Stone, which increases the running and attacking speed of your Pokemon. It all depends on your playstyle and which Pokemon you select as your main. Snorlax mains wish to hold on to Leftovers since they have a lot of HP and tend to take a lot of damage. Leftovers will serve to restore their HP slowly, ultimately increasing their vitality. Pikachu mains may wish to hold the Float Stone so they can quickly move from teammate to teammate in case they require quick reinforcements. You're able to hold 3 held items. These individual held items have levels of their own. Specific currency players receive will be able to use on held items to increase their level and potential. Of course, when you begin the game, you'll be able to hold 1 held item and eventually unlock the other 2, but it's something you want to unlock as soon as possible. Number 2, your consumable item. This single item has a 60-second cooldown and is typically used in emergencies or to shift the tide of a battle. Player's first consumable item will be the potion, which may be used to regain health. In a pinch, consumable items may save your Pokemon from dying. For example, the eject button is a great consumable item for escaping hordes of enemies. It launches your Pokemon in a certain distance away, making it an amazing last-ditch effort to escape your opponents. Number 3, Pokemon selection. This is likely the most important step. Of course, you'll naturally be inclined to select your main, and I think all the Pokemon can be categorized into 3 basic dungeon crawler ways: damagers, supporters, and healers. And here is where we would place each Pokemon. Of course, we've only played this game for 2 days during the beta, so this list may be disagreeable. Let us know what you think. Damagers do the name as implies, taking kills but may get knocked out if alone. Damagers work well with supporters and healers. Supporters offer important side effects that inflict your opponent to prevent them from advancing. Ninetales can freeze and slow down opponents for damagers to wreak havoc on, and Snorlax can use his large shield to block opponents from scoring or inflicting damage. Supports work well with damagers but not exceptionally well with healers. Healers, as you may notice, is currently only Eldegoss. We believe Eldegoss should be in a category of its own for its unique gameplay. Unlike supporters, Eldegoss is almost defenseless when it's alone. Support tends to stand a chance even when alone. However, when Eldegoss is paired with damagers, this team is sometimes unstoppable. Healers work well with damagers but not exceptionally well with support. So I'm sure you'd love to select your main constantly, but this might not always be a good idea. If your main happens to be Mr. Mime, a support character, you may not want your teammates to also be support characters. Mr. Mime, Snorlax, and Eldegoss, for example, may not work well together. The same can be said for pure damage roles. Absol, Lucario, Greninja are amazing attackers and can take down opponents easily, but they lack bulk and health, meaning if your team is full of pure attackers, you may find yourself being knocked out frequently. It's all about team synchronicity. It's all about team synchronicity. I think did I say that right? I'm gonna say synergy. All right. It's all about team synergy. Now Dustin's gonna walk you through one of our battles and show you how the game goes.
All right, now let's get into the actual battle. This is a battle I did recently with some Pogo players you might recognize. We got Valerash, Arrow, Not Rob, and John, and this was a 5v5 we did. There are currently, as we know, there's a map for 3 versus 3, 4 versus 4, and 5 versus 5. And generally, you're probably going to play on 5v5 a lot, depending on how much people you have. But I think I liked 5v5 the most. So it's important these early stages of the game are pretty important, which is why I'm pausing here. Before you go into the match, if you could communicate with your teammates, you generally want to have a game plan, which is why I love this game so much, because it's a lot of collaboration, and before you even start the match, you should have a game plan. And our game plan is to separate with Pokemon that suit each other's skills and weaknesses. So I'm going with Valarash. As you can see, he's Gibble, and Gibble is a close combat attacker that does a lot of damage, while Vulpix is a long-range attacker that also offers a lot of supports. A lot of the ice moves are able to freeze opponents. As you can see, when I hit that A-Palm, it kind of turned like that ice color. So I'm freezing them down, and Valarash is going in with heavy close combat damage, which makes us a very suitable Pokemon team. And as you might be seeing, the first thing we're doing is killing Pokemon and leveling up. We went to the top side when our other team went to the bottom side. I just evolved, which you tend to evolve at level 4, depending on what Pokemon you are. Valarash is Gibble, which means he's going to take a lot more time to level up, which is another reason why Vulpix should go with Gibble, because Vulpix evolves very quickly, is able to defend that Gibble when he needs support to evolve. And it seems like finally their reinforcements arrived at the top part. Valarash and I were able to quickly round up some points and score on them, which usually isn't the case, but they weren't showing up for a good time to defend their top score, which is just great for us. And essentially what you want to do, and I'm giving a bad example of this, is at the start of the games, because you're so low, you generally want to avoid fighting with the other team. And this was a moment that you just saw me die. I played it badly. I completely forgot I was a ranged attacker. I got way too overzealous, and now I have to do a sad walk of shame back to defend my goal. But thankfully they weren't able to take anything, because I did have a teammate there to defend, even though I failed my team there. So this is the essential goal for 5v5. As you can see on this map, we have 5 goals that we need to defend, and they have 5 goals that they need to defend. And for the early stages of this game, it's a little slow, and you really got to play defensively, because if the opponent manages to kill you, they get experience, they get stronger, they can overtake you. You really don't want to be dying very early, because it could set the precedent for the rest of the game. Your opponent's team will just be overpowered and stronger than you, and at that point you can't really do anything to protect yourself. As you can see there, we got overzealous again, went too far into their zone, which is a bad idea, because when you're standing in your own zone, as you can see right now, I'm gaining HP with those little green numbers that are going up. So generally, if you're defending, you want to stay in your zone so your HP is going up while you're attacking, just like my opponents are doing right now, and what we kind of failed to do, getting a little overzealous and trying to take them out. But all they're going to do is stay in their goal and heal as we're trying to kill them. And that was a very bad play on our part, because now we're doing a slow walk of shame back to our goal, but they're currently scoring on us, so that was really bad, and you want to avoid that. So eventually, and as you can see here, it's been 5 minutes into this game so far, and we are still at the top. Me and Valarash are still at the top of the map, defending our goal, trying to get their goal. And you might think this is moving slow, but it is incredibly exciting to have these long standoff battles with the opponent guarding their goal. You're trying to take it, and this is the moment that we finally overtake it. As you can see, I have 34 points for that little Pokeball is at the bottom of the screen, and that means I really need to get those points into their goal, because if I die, I lose half of those or almost all of those. So I just took the goal, and that's essentially what you want to do during the 5v5 combat strategy. You essentially want to overtake their goals, take their turf, and defend your own at the same time. And this is also a very important part of this map. These are like mini bosses, I suppose, the Rotom that just spawned here. It's a stronger enemy, and if you're able to beat it, it can do a lot. It can provide a lot of advantages for your team. It also has that big number 20 over it, which means you're getting 20 points if you're able to kill it. And whenever your opponents aren't around and your teammates are just hanging around, that's generally what you want to do. As you can see, that Rotom is heading for their goal. It's going to wreak havoc, and it's going to provide us with a lot of points, so it's pretty huge when you get those. And at this point, we are so far into the game and pretty much destroying them. As you can see on the map, we still have all 5 of our goals, and they only have about 2 left, so we are going pretty far into their map. There's not much they can do. We become kind of higher level than them. Alright, and this is probably something you want to make note of if you're playing on this map as well. This over here is Zapdos, and it spawns at the last 2 minutes of the timer, and it kind of acts like a golden snitch from Harry Potter, I would say, because if you kill it, as we just did, you can see we got a ton of points. Not Rob over there has 50 points to score on the opponent, but it could also be a double-edged sword, because you could go over the boss monster, you could kill Zapdos, you could do as much damage as you want to it, but the other team could kind of swoop in and steal it from you. The Zapdos could be at 1 HP, and if their opponent hits it once, all of those points go to the opponents. So it's kind of it could be good or bad for you. There's been a lot of times where my team has completely killed the Zapdos, and one of their team members just snuck in, killed it, and was able to score on us, which is infuriating. But at this point, our team was all there. The opponent's team were nowhere to be seen, so we got a ton of points, even though we're already destroying this team, and we were able to just really dunk on them. And yeah, that's essentially how you want to play this game. You want to make sure you have a game plan. You want to make sure you choose the right Pokemon for that good team composition. And at the end of the game, you count up how many points were scored on the opponent's side, on your side. Obviously, whoever has the most points wins. And it even gives you the individual ratings on how you did. Don't quite know what the rating system is here, but as you can see, I scored 189 points, which is the most out of all of our team. But because Not Rob got 184 points and more assists than me, we kind of did we almost performed very similar, but Not Rob got a ton more assists than me. He was able to take #1 in points between our team. Alright, and that pretty much covers the basics, and obviously this was simply covering the basic. I'm sure there's a lot of comments saying that we forgot stuff, and we probably did. Let me remind you that we only had about 2 days during the beta to play this, and we were only able to play it in the Japanese version, so we really couldn't read what we were doing. We couldn't read our skills, the items. There was a lot missing. But if there's anything on Pokemon Unite that you guys want us to make videos about, please let us know in the comments. I actually got this idea because a kind person in the Eldegoss video left a comment, and that's why we decided to make this video today. So if you're excited about Pokemon Unite and you want to see more content, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that like, because it would really help us make more Pokemon Unite content. Guys, if you want to see more Pokemon Unite, then make sure you hit that like. It'll really, really, really help us out, and we'll see you in the next one.